Danny, what's up, bro?
What's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Can't complain.
Love to hear it, man. It seems like this fight with Erislandy Lara had been kind of rumored for a while. What was the holdup? And for you, is the timing perfect right now?
Yeah, I mean, the time definitely is perfect for me, but it came a year later because Showtime stopped doing boxing, and I was a Showtime fighter for 10 years. Basically, I just had to wait to see what's next for me with PBC. They did the Prime deal, did a few fights, and the fight is here.
I'm glad you mentioned Showtime. Before we get into the Lara fight, what is Danny Garcia's best Showtime moment in your opinion?
My best Showtime moment, man, I have so many, so many. I don't know. I would say all of them. They were all, to me, all big fights, historic moments.
Definitely, man. The last time you were on a call with Canelo Alvarez headlining, you had probably your best performance against Lucas Matisse. How do you duplicate that, being on the Canelo card in another major fight at a weight class you've never fought at? How do you duplicate the Matisse performance against Lara?
I just gotta go in there like I'm doing now, training hard, getting the right sparring, believing in myself, putting the work in, and just make sure I'm there mentally and physically. And I know once I'm there mentally and physically, no one can really stop me. So that's just the mindset that I have. I have to just be there. Danny Garcia has to be there mentally.
Your chin has always been talked about as one of the greatest chins in boxing, especially in this era. As you climb up in weight, is the key having a great chin, or is the key avoiding punches at this point? Because you are up there, man, considering where you started.
Oh, for sure, both. I gotta move my head and I gotta make sure my jaw is tight. You definitely don't want to give no dumb punches. Just make sure I'm smart, moving my head. I mean, you're always gonna get hit, so you gotta be prepare your body to take them hits. But you're just gonna try to avoid getting hit as clean as possible, as flush as possible. So that's what we're working on in the gym, moving our head, keeping my jaw tight and make sure my condition is right, so that way I can, withstand the heavier punches.
As you move up in weight, do you have to depend on some of the things you depended on more at 140, like I felt like you had amazing timing, your reflexes. Do you feel like you have to depend on those things more that you are fighting at middleweight, or do you feel like you have to adapt certain other things like increasing power?
Definitely, physical strength. You gotta adapt to it. As you go up, the guys get stronger. So as you hit them, you actually feel they're bigger and stronger. That the physical strength and absolutely my speed. Make sure that I'm gonna be faster. Make sure that I use my speed and my timing against the bigger guys, and make sure that my defense is on point.
At one point, you were the king of the 140-pound division. He was reigning supreme at 154. Back then, did you ever see this as even a realistic thing, or is this something that's just, I mean, you never saw yourself as a middleweight?
I knew I'd fight at 154 one day, but I never really see myself at middleweight. The fight is at 157, so it's not too far away from 154. But no, I didn't. I never see myself at this weight, but I feel good. My body's grown. I feel strong, and it's time. It's time to do it. It's time to make history.
You said these 2 years off is one of the best things that could happen to you. You've been fighting a long time, man. Was that just to recharge the battery, heal some bumps and bruises? What makes that 2 year layoff imperative to you moving forward?
Well, it's good and bad because I didn't fight in 2 years, so a lot of people have a lot of questions. And then it's good because I rested. I rested. I got my mind right. My body feels good. I recouped. I didn't want the fight to take this long to happen because I when I beat Benavidez, I felt so good. I felt like I was like rejuvenated. So, but I had to wait 2 years. The fight was supposed to happen last year, but for whatever reason it didn't happen with Showtime. Had to wait a little bit longer, but other than that, I feel like everything happens for a reason, and the time is now.
What are some of the things, Danny, that you're gonna have to wait till fight night to kind of figure out that you can't replicate in the gym?
Um, Wait, what was the question? I'm sorry.
What are some of the things you'll have to wait till fight night to figure out that you can't really replicate in the gym or get a look of it?
Oh yeah, definitely. So sometimes you train for one way and then they fight another way. So as a champion, you have to be ready to make adjustments because it never goes as planned. You might be training for him to move, but he might be coming. He might be aggressive. So it's all about making adjustments, and that's what makes you a true champion.
Man, it's interesting you say Lara is the definition of that. Like, people will say, like, oh, he's running, he's doing this, and then the very next fight, he'll stalk. And, I mean, he got a spectacular second-round knockout, I believe, in March. I'm sure you're preparing for the best Lara because he's always been a solid guy who you can't overlook.
Oh, absolutely. He's a. This is definitely somebody you can't overlook. I know he's coming to fight. He's the champion, and he's just not going to let me, take it for him for a battle.
When you look at the middleweights from Philadelphia, Bennett Briscoe, Bernard Hopkins, at 36 years old, you have an opportunity to win a title at middleweight. Do you feel like at this stage in your career you have a run in you to where you can be mentioned as one of the great Philadelphia middleweights?
Well, that's a good question. There's only one fight. I will be a middleweight champion, and but Bernard Hopkins, he had that 20 defenses. That's different. So I would definitely consider myself one of the best. And one of the best 140-pounders. I would definitely be a 3-division world champion, and that to me will mean everything. But I want to say I would be the best middleweight because I only have one fight.
Are you looking to stay at middleweight, or would you like to go back to 54 after this?
I don't know. Whatever is next. I got to get past this victory, past this fight, and then whatever.
Before I let you go, man, one thing no one can say about Danny Garcia is you've avoided anyone. Your resume is impeccable, man. What does that say about you, even at 36 years old, fighting high-level guys like Erislandy Lara?
I never back down from a challenge, and that's what boxing's all about. You can't never be afraid to fail. You're never afraid to be great. And the reason why I fought everybody is because I felt like I was better. That's why I fought them, because I thought, I could beat them. And that's how much I believe in myself. Sometimes I fell short, sometimes I won, but I got in there and I fought everyone.
And I can't wait till September 14th. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, brother. Good luck, my man. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.